In this video, we are talking to a woman by the name of Kara who came into the channel and is 1,000% certain that she met and spoke with Lilly back in June at a park in Saskatchewan. Why I share this is, while it's important for police to issue missing person reports, it's my belief that it is equally important to promote and publicize those people who firmly believe that they have seen a missing person, a person that's been reported as missing. Possibly 99% chance it is a lookalike. I covered the Michael Donaghy story out of Victoria. I cannot tell you how many photographs the Victoria police received that were Michael Donaghy lookalikes. And these children looked absolutely identical. So while that can be the case, it's so important to promote these sightings because there may be that 1% or that 0.5% chance that the person who says they saw a missing person, in fact, did see that person. So we share this with just that information for you. And to put it out there so that if anybody else witnesses this man and this little girl or also witnessed this, it may serve the police in their investigation or not. Do you know the family, Kara? Like personally, do you know them? Okay. And you live in Saskatchewan, I take it, correct? Okay. And when was this? After they went missing? 2 weeks. Okay, so you saw them 2 weeks after they went missing. Okay. And where did you see them specifically? Like what town in Saskatchewan and where? Like if it was a store, if it was a mall. Okay, Jack was not with them. It was in Regina. Okay. And was it what store was it in, or what gas station, or what restaurant, or like at a park? Okay, which park? Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay, hi. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Yes, we seen her, I actually conversed with her. So I live in a small area in Regina, and I was following the story for a while. We live in a small community where we're very close-knit, everybody knows each other. All the kids, they all go to either the Catholic or the public school. And I took my boys there. I have 3 kids, 3 little boys. And there was this guy that was there, and he was very, strange looking. Have you ever seen that movie Men in Black?
Yeah.
And you know the one guy, that has, the alien in his brain or whatever? He was very big. He had red hair. I can describe him to a T. And he had, this little kid with him, and I'm looking around, and I'm talking to the other parents, and we were kind of making a joke about it because I was like, who's creep is this? Why is this guy watching this kid, stalking this kid? And this little kid came running over because my child is 6 years old.
Yeah.
And he didn't really pay attention to her, but my 4-year-old instantly took a huge liking to her. And my boys were playing soccer with their dad, and I was with another mom, and she came over and she was on the swing, and she's like, will you push me? And I said, absolutely, I'll push you. And I looked at her, I said, you're not from around here, are you? Because like I said, all like my community, everybody knows each other. So when somebody's at the park and we don't recognize them, we're going to question like, where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, this kid jumped off the swing and turned so that her back was facing the person that was with her, because he didn't say a word. He was just staring, like a dead stare, like not letting this child out of his sight. But he didn't belong there. Like, it was just very strange. So I was pushing her and she goes, no, we're not from around here. And I said, well, sweetie, where are you from? Well, I know that we're not from around here. I live far away. I said, okay. I said, who are you here with? That guy over there. And she pointed to this dude. And I'm like, that guy over there? Yeah, that's my uncle, but I don't know him very well. I said, oh, okay. So where's your mom? Oh, me and my mom live in a car. And I said, what? Yes, we live in a car. And I'm like, well, that's kind of strange. It's a gray car and it has a broken windshield. Like, this kid is just like telling me their life story. I said, okay, so where is your mom right now? Oh, she's supposed to pick me up. And I said, well, when is she picking you up? I'm not sure, but I've gone to sleep and she still hasn't come to pick me up. And I said, oh, okay. Not really thinking anything of it. Like, I have 3 children of my own that I'm trying to like watch at the same time. Anyway, we go to leave and this little girl throws herself off the swing, but not like, you know, like by accident, like to purposely try to hurt herself as if to get attention. Like, oh, maybe if I do this. She was very scared. And it was funny because I was talking to my husband and I said, where do I know this kid from? Like, eyes don't lie. I'm like, I know this kid from somewhere. Like, where do I know this kid? Anyway, we go to leave. And then all of a sudden I'm turning back and I'm calling for my 8-year-old. And I said, come on, we got to go right now. And this guy is dragging this kid by the arm. You won't even believe what they were driving. He was driving one of those like disability like buses, kind of. So like a disability, like where they come and the ramp comes out on the side. You know what I mean? Like the guy's dressed, he's dressed in Carhartts. And it was so freaking strange to me. I come home and all of a sudden, like, I'm like, where do I know this? I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, hun. And he's like, what? And I said, you want to know who that kid was? And I pulled up the pictures of Lily and Jack and I said, look it. And instantly he's crying. Okay. And I'm crying because I'm freaking out because you can tell, but eyes don't lie. Like, you can, very distinct eyes, the way the child was talking. So I'm doing my own research, right? And I'm like, okay, well, I said, the car that this child was describing looks exactly like the car when they did the aerial view of the house, like to a T. I have screenshots that I saved onto my phone for it because I was conversing with the RCMP. I called the RCMP the next day. First, I talked to one of the detachments, but then I had the head of the RCMP in Nova Scotia call me. And he's like, okay, well, it says here that you did get in touch with the Regina Police. And I said, absolutely. And also the the RCMP detachment out there. And I said, yes. He's like, did anybody come to your house? I said, yes, an officer came here and took a statement. He's like, well, you know what? And I said, what's that? He's like, we can't seem to find that officer and we cannot find any record of a police officer coming to your house. Which was, it was so, like, I was floored. Like, I was bawling. I said, well, does that make sense to you? And he's like, well, not really. We're trying to figure it out. I said, well, it does make sense to me is that these little kids are missing. There's no Amber Alert out for them. And you guys aren't seeming to be doing your job. Okay, so I'm a mother of 4 boys in total. I had my little brother when he was in kindergarten. He was actually taken right out of our backyard and trafficked. And we didn't find him for good 3.5 months. But when a child, like being a mom, that was that little girl and it haunts me. I'm telling you, to this day, it haunts me. And then I was watching all the other videos about like them saying, oh, he doesn't have family in the West. He does. Well, you know what? Why would you even say that? Because that little girl, that was that little girl. The next day we went back to the park to see if this child would come back with him. I'm standing there and I'm talking to this other mother, and she's like, you want to know something strange? I said, what's that? She's like, that little kid that was here. And I said, right. And I didn't say anything. I didn't coerce her into saying anything. She looks at me. She's like, that was that little girl that went missing. I said, right. Thank you. 100%. So because my kids conversed with her, this is what I did. I woke up in the morning. I showed a picture of Lily to my 6-year-old. I said, do you know this kid? And they're like, no, not really. Then my little 4-year-old, because he actually was playing with her, I showed the picture and I said, do you know this little girl? That's my friend from the park, Mommy. That's my friend. It was crazy. It was bizarre. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, that was the little girl. 100% I know it was.
Do you remember, or did you make a note of you said the head of the Nova Scotia RCMP, I'm assuming it was major crimes. Do you remember who you spoke to?
No, but what I can do is I can actually go and I'll take a look at all of, like I have all the callers, like I screenshotted everything. I'm on an iPhone and stuff, but like I said, it's from June, but I can get all that information out to you.
Okay.
And it says right here, did the RCMP identify himself? Of course he did. And did you take a picture? No, I didn't, because I was at a park with 3 of my own children.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, and their dad's useless. So, I'm trying to talk to this kid and they left quite quickly. It was like the guy knew, like, because I was trying to look at him figuring it out. And I'm pretty blunt. I'm like, whose creep does this belong to? Like, you know what I mean? Like, he's there and he doesn't belong there. And he doesn't look like he has children. It was very strange to me. And he was he was kind of scary looking. And as soon as that kid, like, I replay our conversation over, I'm with my uncle, but I don't know him very well. And I'm just like, fuck, this is not making sense to me. This is not. And believe me when I say I think about it all the time, because I don't understand why it wasn't investigated further.
Okay. What was the name of the park you were at?
It was Eastview Community Park.
Okay.
Yeah. It took them, like, it was really bizarre. After I called the Nova Scotia police, and she took a big statement from me. Then she's like, what you need to do is you need to call your local detachment. And I said, okay, I'll do that. So first I called the Regina Police Service. And they said, okay, well, you need to call RCMP because the jurisdiction thing, right? I said, okay. So I called the RCMP. 2 days it took them to even send an officer over to my house. Like 2 days. And I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I've had a lot of like domestic phone calls with my ex. And they sent the same officer that actually went to school with my husband. So it was kind of a gong show. And he looks at me and he's just like, are you on drugs? Are you drunk? I said, are you kidding me? We're talking about a missing child here. This is a missing child.
When you were at the park, obviously from your story, you didn't recognize who she was at the time, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
But I knew, like, I was staring at her because the way that she was talking to me, she was very scared. Like, she actually took herself, the way she was positioning herself around the park was so that this guy wasn't able to see what she was saying to me. She would always make sure that her back was like to him. Like, I was pushing her on the swing and she jumped off the swing to turn herself around. So he was like, I was pushing her and she was going east on the swing. It was so strange. And then I just and I kept saying, where do I know this kid from? Where do I know this kid from? And as soon as I got home, I was like, it hit me. I was like, that is that child. That is that 100,000%. That was that child. They chopped her hair off. They had her dressed up as a little boy. And I hate to say this so blatantly, but a child at 6 years old, okay, I have a 6-year-old little boy. And if I was to put a little dress on him and cute little shoes, you would not be able to tell if he was a boy or a girl, because they're still at that stage where they have that soft-spoken voice. Just like a little girl, you could chop off her hair. And if she's wearing like little jean shorts or a little freaking rookie shirt or something to look like a boy, you're not going to be able to sit there and put her next to a boy and say, this is a boy, this is a boy, or this is a girl and that's a boy. You know what I mean? That's the age.
So when you were pushing her, when you were having this interaction with her, well, first of all, did you ask her name?
I didn't ask the child's name, no.
Okay.
It wasn't no, I wasn't thinking about that, but I was asking questions because I know she wasn't from there. Like all the kids, it's always the same kids. It's a very indigenous community and it's always the same kids. Like you look and it's like all the same kids all the time. It's a lot of kids from foster homes in the so it's always the same parents. Always. And when a handy bus is sitting there, it's like, okay, well, who's in a wheelchair? Like, just very strange. And the guy was scary, actually, because I like, who is this creep? Why is he watching these kids?
Was the man Indigenous?
He was not. He was a Caucasian male. He was tall, very stocky. He had reddish hair. He had facial hair. He was wearing card hearts. Like, we're talking the middle of summer and the guy's wearing card hearts.
Sorry, what are card hearts?
Card hearts are like what constructions worker wear, like the overalls.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he wasn't well dressed.
No, he looked like he just stepped off a job site.
Okay.
Yeah. And yes, her mom did say, she kept saying, my mom said she's coming to get me. My mom said she's coming to get me. And I was like, well, when is she coming? Well, I've already slept and she hasn't come and got me yet. And I'm like, what? Like, what is this kid talking about? Like, not because kids talk all the time, right? But when I came home and I was sitting there and I was replaying everything in my head, I was like, she was trying to tell me something. Like, you could tell she was trying to tell me something. She was terrified. But she was trying to do it in a way. Kids aren't stupid, right? I mean, they know how to talk in a manner when they feel unsafe without getting in trouble.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
Because I have kids of my own. They do it to me all the time. If it's somebody about school, this kid's bullying me at school, and they'll try to act nonchalant, especially if the child's right there.
So, THRD, Eastview Community Park, Saskatchewan, Regina area. And this happened, I'm sorry, when?
It was about 2 weeks after they actually went missing, because I was sitting, I'm like, why is there no Amber Alert? Like, I don't understand why they haven't put an Amber Alert out for these kids. It floors me. It floors me.
And I mean, this is probably, a stupid question to ask because you would have said so, but you haven't seen them since, I'm assuming.
Not once. And we went to the park. I went to the park the next day and the following day to see if they would come back, and they haven't. They never did come back. That was the only time they were ever there. It was very bizarre. Mm-hmm. And the police are like, okay, well, we're looking for that kind of vehicle. And they were looking for the handy bus as well. They said they couldn't find it in the area. Well, no shit, because it's been 2 days now. And now you guys are just looking like, it's horrible.
Dibmar, Saskatchewan is provinces away.
On the west coast. We're pretty much on the west side of Canada.
Yeah. They're sort of
right off the Trans-Canada Highway.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A very, very significant difference.
Very,
a couple thousand kilometers away. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
And she didn't mention anything about a sibling or a brother or anything like that, I'm assuming.
No, she didn't. But like I said, the way that she was throwing herself off the swing was like in hopes that she would hurt herself. Because if she really hurt herself, there's other parents that were there. Oh my God, she broke her arm. Call 911. Call the ambulance. You know what I mean? You can tell she was trying to draw attention in a nonchalant way to herself.
Mm-hmm.
It was very sad. Like
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of sleep over it because I'm a mom and I've been following this story and it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like kids don't vanish like that.
Yeah, for sure.
With no trace of nothing.
What was she wearing?
What was she wearing? She was wearing like, you know, little slush pants. Little slush pants. She had little dinosaur shoes on that lit up. And she was wearing it was a t-shirt, a boy's t-shirt, but it had like a little sailor hat or something on it. It was, yeah. I'll tell you, her eyes, as soon as I got home, I was looking at her picture. I said, oh my God, that's where I know this kid from. Because it was plastered all over the news. Like it was everywhere, social media, everything. And I'm like, that's the kid. And my hubby was just like, he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe it. He's like, you are so right. And I said, I know. And then when that mom the next day said that to me, she's like, you know who that kid was, right? I said, yes, thank you very much. Absolutely. I thought I was going crazy. I'm not even kidding. I thought I was going crazy. But
did she have any like backpack with her or water bottle or
nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing, no. And she was dirty. Like she didn't look like she was being very well taken care of. Like she didn't look like she was being beaten or starved or anything like that, but she was dirty. Her hair was knotty. There were knots in it.
But you said it had been cut.
It was cut. From the pictures that they were showing on social media, it was cut short, like a boy cut. But it wasn't cut professionally. It was hacked. You could tell her hair was hacked. And I said that to the police and to the RCMP. I said, something is not right here. Like, you guys need to be checking cameras in the area. I even went on the community website and I said, I want to see people's doorbell cams. Like, if anybody has access and could see the park from their doorbell cam, please message me. It's very important. And nobody messaged me. You know why? Unfortunately, because people just don't care. They don't. Well, what's another missing person? But you know what? I'm a mom and I know from my heart that was that little girl.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been so sure about something in my life.
Yeah.
It's so sad. So sad.
Yeah. Did the other parent report it?
I'm not sure if she did. Like it wasn't really brought up again. Like I've posted it all over social media. Like I've like all these reports that come up and missing kids in Canada. And I have said where she has been seen. I said, this child was seen in Regina, Saskatchewan, like 100%. And I'm either blocked off of the webpage or whoever's chat it is, or why didn't you report it? Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, it was reported. It was reported to RCMP here and in Regina and in Nova Scotia.
It is Gabrielle. Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Have you reached out or contacted any of Lilly and Jack's family, mom, dad?
You know what? I haven't. I think it was a site that maybe one of the aunts put up or something. And I did put comments on there. But I'm getting blocked. Like, you're not allowed to reply. So I go to put in my reply and it's saying you can't reply to this conversation. Like, it's just,
okay.
I'm not trying to stir shit. I would love for these kids to be brought home. Like, it's sad. And where's the little boy? Where's he at? It's a lot easier to keep a 6-year-old quiet than it is a 4-year-old.
Yeah, I can get you in touch with one of the members.
Okay.
Your family. Yeah. I can put you in touch with somebody there.
It's very sad. I can't believe I came across this page because I'm like, who can I contact? And it's just months have gone by, right? And I'm like once, unfortunately, going west in Canada, like it's been so long now. Like as soon as they get to that Vancouver area, you know, I don't even want to think about it because it's not the world that we grew up in, that's for sure. So, I mean, there should have been something done about this.
Did you get a sense that they were traveling, or did you get a sense that they were living there, or?
They were traveling for sure because she looked like she hasn't. Like, you know, if you go on a long road trip with a bunch of kids and it's kind of stressful and it's kind of whatever, like I've had my kids sleep in cars for 3 days, you know, without showering, but they want to go out. Like the kid looked like she definitely wasn't sleeping comfortably.
Did you see anybody else in this vehicle?
There was nobody else, just her and him. Just her and him. And then
when you said that he had facial hair, did he have like a mustache, a beard, or the whole 9 yards?
This scruffiness, like it looks like he hasn't shaved in 4 or 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a ginger. And he didn't speak. He didn't say anything. But he was a big guy. Like he was a big guy, for sure, big guy. Like I'm 5'8", and he was probably 6'2", 6'3", and like solid. Like he wasn't fat, but he was a big dude.
And what color was the vehicle?
It was one of those handy buses, like that would go around and pick up people with wheelchairs and stuff, which was also very strange. I'm like, why is he driving a handy bus with a 6-year-old child?
Did the handy bus have any kind of company name on it or anything like that? Any markings or any kind of logos on it?
I didn't pay attention. I just saw that. I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, why are they driving a handy bus? Like, it just didn't make sense. None of it made sense. And then I came home and I was putting 2 and 2 together. And that's when I'm like, I got to call the cops. I got to call RCMP.
I guess my question to you is, what about it made you think it was a handy bus?
Oh, it was clearly a handy bus. You could see it. Like he was parked right in front of the park, right on the main road, like, which is also very extremely close to the ring road, which is the ring road here is like the road that'll take you out to the Trans-Canada Highway.
Mm-hmm. No, she didn't get any pictures, Gabrielle.
No.
What color was the vehicle?
The handy bus was white, and it had like it had the blue writing, like it had the wheelchair signs and stuff on it. It was a newer vehicle. Assuming it was probably stolen, like I don't know.
Okay, so it did have logos on it. It had the wheelchair logo and stuff on it.
Absolutely, it did. Yeah, because it was a handy bus. So.
Okay.
I don't know how they look out in the east, but I think they all look pretty much the same. They're the white bus, and then they got like the stripe that goes around them. That's how I knew right away it was a handy bus. I'm like, that just doesn't make sense. I'm like, why is he driving that? And he looks like that. Not trying to sound biased, you know, but very strange to me.
A stripe that goes around it?
Yeah, like it's a handy bus. You know how it has like I don't know how they look in the east, but here they're white, and then it's got like I think it's like a pinstripe around it, and then it's got on both sides, it's got the like on at the windows, the corner of the bottom windows, it's got the little wheelchair sign, and then it's got the door that comes out on the side, and then the 2 doors in the very back, and then it opens up like a regular kind of bus in the front.
Okay.
Like a transit bus, but designed for wheelchairs.
Did it say CHAD on the bus?
I have no idea.
Yeah, Drew. And you said it looked like a newer vehicle versus.
It was. Yeah, it was. It was.
Really weird. Well,
It's strange. It's strange. They didn't belong. Like it was so out of whack. The whole situation. It was just. It floored me. It still does because I know 1,000% it was that little girl. And I get to live with that every day, right? Because it's like, why aren't you guys listening? Why aren't you doing something about this? 2 days later, they could have been in freaking BC by then. Just doesn't make sense. Yeah.
When you were talking to her, I mean, I don't even know how to describe this, but were you relating to her like she was a little boy? Was she relating to you like she was a little boy or a little girl, or was there any kind of, you know how children, there is a certain relatedness, right?
Yeah. There is, but you know what? She was relayed. The way that she was speaking to me was, please, like, how do I describe this in a way that's not going to offend anybody or be like, you know what I mean? So when I'm talking to my kids, okay, say I have another neighborhood kid come to me and say, your son's been getting bullied on the school bus. And I'm like, okay, but my child that's being bullied is happening to be playing with that child that's bullying them. I'll just go and I'll be nonchalantly go up to them and go, what's going on? Are you okay? Are you having a good day? And they look at me and it's all in the eyes. Like, I don't care what age kids are. If they don't feel safe or they know they're somewhere where they shouldn't be and with somebody, they will communicate to you in a way that will not get them in trouble. Just like I said before, like her eyes explained everything, like the way that she was moving her body was so that she was still looking like she was playing and just being herself, but without him being able to read her facial expression. Because not once did she make eye contact with him. There are so many kids around there, and when there's new kids that come into the playground, little kids are little kids, right? They don't care what color you are, where you're from. It's just another somebody to play with. And her eyes were like, her glaze, like the way she was looking did not leave because I was the only one conversing with her. I was right there face to face with her, talking to her because I was listening. I was hearing what she was saying. And when we left, like I said, okay, we got to go. She was like, no, please don't go yet. We want to play just a little bit longer. And I'm like, sweetie, I got to get my boys home. And she was pretty upset, but she wasn't crying, but she's just looking at me. And when we were walking, her head was like she was watching us leave. She was going to the handy bus. He had her by the arm. And I'm talking to my kids and I'm kind of walking backwards trying to call them. And I'm watching them leave, and then I saw them go in that handy bus, and it was just like, that was it. They were gone, right?
Did he ever speak to her?
No. He didn't speak once. And I kind of called him out, too, because I'm like, whose creep is this? Like, he just didn't belong there. It was so weird. And then when she's like, I'm here with my uncle, and she pointed to him, I'm here with my uncle, but I don't know him that well.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also very bizarre because the resemblance in the two, I'm like, if that's no, how is that your uncle? Like, I can't see it. Like, this guy was a ghoul. I'm not joking when I say that. He looks like he was fresh out of the pen. Like, he didn't belong there. he was scary. And he was big. Like, I mean, he was scary. Yeah. Just, yeah, didn't add up to me, so.
So he never, when he was taking her by the arm, he never said any name. He never said, come on, let's go. He never said.
No. Not that I could hear when I was already, like, because I was already leaving with my children, yelling for them, let's go right now. We got to get home. We got to cook supper. And then I'm walking backwards and I'm just watching him, like, take her. And he wasn't carrying.
Oh, she left.
I think I'm back. Sorry about that.
It's okay. Oh.
I did call the police right away.
Yeah.
And the police took 2 days to even come here.
Yeah, and you were saying that then you spoke to Major Crimes, and you don't know who you spoke with, right?
No, he just said he was Major Crimes, and it was a man. He's like, I'm with the Major Crimes Unit in Nova Scotia, and I'm just following up on a phone call. You spoke to, I can't remember what he said her name was. She was an East Indian lady, the original girl that I talked to from the RCMP in Nova Scotia. And yes, the man did have hair loss a little bit on his head. Yes, he did. He was receding hairline, and it was buzzed short, a little bit shorter, but his hair was definitely red. He was a ginger for sure. Sorry, I'm just trying to read his comments here.
Yeah. If you want to email me your information, Kara.
Okay.
And it's at Hidden in the Fog 63.
Okay, hold on 1 second here.
Yeah.
Okay. And is it all small letters?
It is, yeah. Hidden in the Fog 63 at gmail.com.
Hidden in the Fog 63 at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's HIDDENINTHEFOG.
63.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you want to email me that, when you get a chance, the information you have, and then I will pass along what Gabriel wanted me to send to you.
Okay. How old would you say the man? The man was probably anywhere between 42 and 50 years old. Like, he was in his mid 40s, early to mid 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.